I'm going to talk about something that is associated with a spiritual practice, or can be and should be, I think, and that's journaling. Now, if we approach journaling the right way, journaling is an exercise by which we look inside ourselves for reasons why we do things and for understanding of our lives and what has happened and what is going on and why. And we all have patterns, we all have things that we've done and continue to do. And if we don't take a look at the reasons why we're doing what we're doing, then we'll tend to continue the patterns in various ways, and we won't get a handle on what we would be better off not doing. Now, as I've said, and I'm sure we'll say again, and have said many times, we're here to learn. And when we learn, our suffering becomes less. Our sense of being at peace in the world, sense of purpose in living, sense of meaning in what we do becomes greater. If we don't address our challenges, again, our suffering either stays the same or it increases, as do our problems. So by journaling, we can become aware of the reasons why we might be tending to suffer in various ways, or might be tending to engage in certain patterns that are counterproductive. And to give an example of that, let's say somebody takes a look at their life, say professionally or relationship wise, and makes a realization that their problems that are associated with these things are basically have a certain kind of an origin in some event that happened when they were 4 years old in relationship to their mother, where they received a huge disappointment, or say their parents split up or something. And so this sense of this lack of self-confidence and this inner emotional pain became a pattern that was sustained for this person, this individual, whoever it might be. And so that pattern tends to and will become a pattern that sustains itself in adult situations. So once a person becomes aware of that, sees it for what it is, understands it, then suddenly there can be a certain kind of a deeper understanding, possibly even a breakthrough. Now, knowledge in a certain way is power. When we understand why we do what we do, that's a step toward resolving the problem. And if we really want to resolve our problems, we really ultimately have to take responsibility for our lives and the choices that we made. We have to say, this is who I am. This is why I've done what I've done up to now. Now, if I want it to be better, I have to make better choices. Inner choices, outer choices. I have to make better choices for better reasons. If we don't do that, we're never going to make our lives better. Things are never going to change. We're just going to keep doing the same old stuff over and over again. And we're going to continue to suffer in various ways, and it's not going to be rewarding or productive. And we may get into something like an addiction and just continue to go downhill. But in whatever case, our lives are not going to get too much better. They're just basically going to get worse. So we have to start taking a look. And one aspect of taking a look, maybe, to ask the other people around us maybe what they think our issues might be, because we have a tendency, interestingly enough, not to see our own issues or challenges, whereas other people around us might see them more clearly. It's certainly at times anyway. Maybe not all the time, but certainly at times. So, if we ask the world around us, we ask the people around us, and we look at what's going on outside in the world around us, that's often a good indication of what we would do well to look at. We can overcome certain challenges just by understanding the way we're thinking and avoiding fear-based patterns, avoiding certain other forms of imbalance. We can do that. But there are also going to be things out there that are going to keep on happening, because there's something inside of us that we haven't addressed yet. So, if we see it happen over and over and over again, particularly if it bothers us, that's a pretty good indication there's something we haven't looked at yet. So, if if we continue to journal about it and look at it and examine it, then we're making a move towards an improvement. And Socrates said at the end of his life that basically the examined life was what he lived to live, and the unexamined life is not worth living. And I'm sure the reason he said that is because he felt that by examining who he was, examining his life, examining everything, that he had found meaning in life through that, whereas before he did that, or when he had failed to do that, life was meaningless and seemed purposeless and was not rewarding, was just a ball of suffering. And there are a lot of people out there who just suffer every day, all the time, in every way, and never examine why they do what they do, or anything about themselves or their inner thought processes or whatever else in their lives. Just there's kind of a continuous pattern of suffering and misery. And that's unfortunate, and they're missing out on an opportunity in life, and in a number of ways you could say they're wasting their time in being in this world if they're not looking within, trying to understand what it is that they do. And I'm not saying that to put people down or dismiss them or be condescending. I mean, we're all here for a reason. Everybody who's here belongs here. But at the same time, if you don't take advantage of the opportunity to be introspective and really understand why you're doing what you're doing, and really look at your issues and try to address them, then you're missing out on something that, it would seem to me, would be basically something that virtually anybody would want to do and should want to do. So I'm going to talk about these things at greater length and detail over the course of time, I'm sure, and talk about some of the things that are related to it. But if you like the video, go ahead and like it, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll be back soon to talk about things that are related to this. So thank you for watching.